Good deal. Well, all right, guys, it's 11:05. I'm going to go ahead and get started. If I see anybody else try to get in, I will try to add them as quick as I can. But I'm a big fan of things being short, sweet, and to the point. So I'm going to try not to take up too much of your time today and just hit the good points. So you might not know who I am, so I thought I'd just go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Ashlee Jones. I'm our Communications Director here at the Calhoun County Area Chamber Visitor Center. I've been working here since the week of Thanksgiving last year, so it's hard to believe it's coming up on a year already. I know that this year's already been kind of wild for everyone, so it's just kind of blown by. But I have a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Graphic Design with a minor in PR and Communications. And some fun facts about me: I love to play video games. I'm a big old nerd. And I love Japanese food. I'm a sucker for sushi and teriyaki chicken and fried rice. It's just really good. And now I'm hungry. So I hope I didn't make you hungry too. But luckily, we should wrap up before lunchtime. So if you want to go slip out and get some Japanese food, you got time. All right. So really just the 4 big points I want to hit today, and I'll break it down as we go along. But I want to talk about your social media presence, your brand and your business story, your website, and being genuine just in general. So for your social media presence, you've really got to take the time to create those social media accounts. Figure out what your brand story is, how your profile picture can affect other people, your cover, your header photo if it's Twitter, your posting schedule for social media, as well as who is your target audience. And these are things you may have thought about before, but hopefully we're going to help you really iron those out today. So taking the time to build out your social. So I would say a majority of the public would be on Facebook and Instagram. And now we'll talk later about your target audience, but depending on who they are, that's going to dictate, which types of social media they're on. But the big 2 would be Facebook and Instagram. Facebook gets 1.73 billion daily users, and Instagram has 500 million every day. So you got to think, well, here in Calhoun County, we don't have nearly that many people, which means probably a good chance of them will be on social media every single day. And that's a resource that's always going to be here. I know this is focusing on reaching out during COVID. Well, say that we go under another shelter in place order, hopefully not within the next couple months, and your customers are going to be stuck at home once again, or they're not going to be able to go out as often. They're still going to be on social media, and they will still have internet, and they will still be able to be in front of you. So we're going to get you set up to best be able to do that going forward. Your profile picture is the first impression a customer may get of your business, and not having one at all could negatively impact getting new customers. This also applies to your own personal social media accounts. I would say specifically LinkedIn, if you choose to have one for your business or organization. I always think whenever I see someone that maybe adds me on LinkedIn or on social media and they don't have a profile picture, it's kind of like, did they get hacked? And if you have no photo, their initial reaction will likely be, what is this person trying to hide? Why do they not want us to see what they look like? And you're not being as open with them as, you may not realize you're not being open with them. Your cover photo should highlight your storefront, staff, or products. So show off your business on the inside and out. Here at the Chamber, we like to do ribbon cuttings. And I'm just going to tell you, that is a great way to show off your business, because you're usually highlighting something very important, whether it's a new location. You may have been open for maybe a decade or more. Maybe it's a really big celebration, 50 years. And you've got all your staff, your family, and your friends, the people in the community that support you all in one photo. And that ribbon cutting, everybody's smiling and celebrating. It looks wonderful because it's super positive. Share your brand story. Now, we're going to talk more about your brand story a little later on. I'm going to try to flesh that out a bit more, but I wanted to mention it here because it's important to include that in your social media, especially on your Facebook. There actually is a little section. You can talk about your business a little bit more with a video or a graphic, whichever you choose, whether it's just a photo or not. But begin thinking about what sets you apart from your competition. What does their social media look like? How do they approach maybe the same customers or just their own potential customers? Post positively and often, especially new store hours, products, or deals. We also have our let's see, it's a very long name. It's Calhoun County Area Takeout and Delivery Options Amid COVID-19. We started that at the very beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic crisis back in March. And I think it's probably been one of the most beneficial things we've been able to offer, not just our members, but the community. I know that restaurants were hit very hard. You weren't allowed to eat inside, and people had been set up for curbside or takeout. And luckily, we were able to be there and help support everybody, as well as our small business community here in Calhoun County. So if you just happen to be at a restaurant, I highly encourage you to go join that group. And if you ever have any like new store hours, products, deals, maybe your menu's updated, please post that in that group so that new customers and potential customers can see you that way. So your target audience. Who is your target audience? We're going to break that down and define it as a particular group at which a film, book, advertising campaign, or etc. is aimed. So think about your typical customer, like who comes into your storefront, or who are the type of people that usually comment on your social media if you already have a presence, and try to decide how can I best focus my message towards them. What kind of content would cater to them enough that like, oh, hey, they'll keep you in mind and they'll come by, or try to build them into those long-term customers that you're wanting. Your website. So some people have decided to not have your own website. They've decided to focus solely on social media. And that's not bad, but personally, I think your website is more important in terms of focusing solely on yourself. With social media, it's really easy to click off or get distracted. I know I do it all the time, but it's real easy to lose focus. But with your website, every single page on that website is all about you, and that's really what you want. So web hosting. Look into free or paid website platforms. I know some really common ones could be like Wix would be a free website, but I would highly suggest Squarespace if you're not able to work with a local agency to kind of build that out for you. Or also your Google My Business, which we won't be getting into today, but you can also set up a free Google website that way for your business. But again, the best part of having your own website versus social media is that all the content is focused on you and your brand. And now, what is your brand? And you might think it's just a logo, but it's actually the public's perception of you, yourself, and your business. And that can be your most important marketing asset, but also harm you. So it's really important. We're going to talk about your brand a little bit more, especially sharing it across all of your platforms. So your social media and website need to be cohesive. The more your brand matches across the board, the more identifiable you'll be, especially if your brand matches your enhanced membership directory listing here with the Chamber. This is a new service that we're offering. And it's different from our basic listing in that you can go in and, just like you said, make it a little more brand specific. You can add your logo, upload videos and interviews you might have. It's way more visually appealing, and that's really what you're going for to keep it brand cohesive. So e-commerce and you. Selling products or curbside ordering online is paramount. So right now, a lot of people are trying to social distance or maybe wear masks to try to keep them, their community, their families, their friends safe. And they may or may not be going out to these big box stores or really maybe in public very often. So the more you can do to make them comfortable and feel safe, I would highly suggest that you do that. If you have reopened and you're not sure still how best to keep everyone safe, or maybe you've already got some procedures in place, but you want to make sure there's anything else you can do, we are offering our Pandemic Ready program here at the Chamber. And I will have this slide presentation available afterwards. And these are all hyperlinks. You can go click straight to it. But just in case, it's at calhounchamber.com, and it's under our COVID-19 news and resources page. And it should be that top option on the right. If you scroll down, it should say Pandemic Ready program. And it's got all the directions and a checklist for you to go over. And then you'll just reach out to us and we'll get you certified with your sticker. Setting expectations. So the more your website embodies your business, the more customers will connect with it, especially if it matches the atmosphere of your store's physical location. So one thing I think about, your website could be really bright and just very simple. If that kind of echoes what your store looks like on the inside, it's kind of like, oh, it's more of building that brand. It's more about connecting the dots. Like, okay, so this is what this company or business is about. Now your business story. So the history of your business, being genuine, really parsing it down to what you need to focus on. And don't forget to share it on your social media. So some key points you want to think about when you're trying to write your brand story. Are you family owned? Are you a second or third generation owner? Why did you open your business? So sit down and really write out the background of your business, and this helps build that emotional connection between you and your customers. And that's really, really what you're looking for. If they feel invested in your business as much as you are, and they see how invested you are, they're going to take notice of that, and they're going to empathize with you. So simplify, 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 and really get to the heart of your brand story. So you might have a really long storied history, and you might write it down. It could be 2 pages, it could be 5 pages, whatever it ends up being. But I would suggest really narrowing it down to like a good paragraph or 2. Probably the shorter you can while hitting the high points, the best. But getting to the heart of your company is really the goal. And be genuine. The more genuine your story is, the more people identify and emotionally connect with your business. I cannot stress it enough. Your brand, it's your voice. It's how you speak to people. It's how you interact with others, whether you realize it or not. And people recognize when you're being genuine with them or not. And it's so important just to be not only true to yourself, but you want to be relatable in a way that it keeps you comfortable while you're still approachable to your customers. And don't forget to share your story on social media or your website. The quickest way to share it with your customers is just throwing up a little post on whichever accounts you decide to make, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, or if you want to make a YouTube video, that's a great way too. When customers become emotionally invested in your brand, they're more likely to stay with you long term. And now we're going to focus on being genuine. So be yourself, bring positivity. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how important your brand is, as well as addressing online comments and critiques. So being yourself, just be open and honest. Just like I said before, it's so important. Bring positivity. Be open and honest with your customers. So this goes back to talking about your voice and your body language. And by voice, I don't just mean like your accent or how loud you speak. It's the tone you set. So avoid being negative with customers to improve their chances of establishing a positive response to your business, and they'll be more likely to refer you to friends and family. Word of mouth is the most successful way of getting your message across. I mean, if putting up a billboard is effective, doing paid ads for social media, effective, but people are going to listen to the others that they trust, especially if it's someone close to them. So we all know that people like to focus on the negative. So if we can alleviate as much negativity as possible, that's for the best. And your brand is your lifeline. The more you take care of it, the better it will serve you. Fostering your brand identity and really sitting down once you have that story is, I can't even stress it enough. It's deciding who you want people to think of you as a brand. When they think of this business, it's like, oh, I know they're really honest people. They've got great customer service. I always go in there and I feel like family. If that's the brand you want, you've got to foster that and build that. And you've got to establish that within yourself and your staff as well. So online comments and critiques and how you handle them can seriously impact your brand. That's not to say that you won't ever get negative comments. Sometimes you just can't please everybody, and that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You can't cater to everybody as much as you might like to sometimes. But always addressing those points and just letting people know that they've been heard. Like, hey, I'm really sorry that this happened today. Letting them know what you're going to do to make it better, and then how you're going to avoid things like this in the future. Just people really just want to know that they've been heard and acknowledged. So if you get positivity in your comments, say thank you and you really appreciate your feedback. But if you get negativity as well, always address it and just say, we're really sorry that this happened, and lay out how you're going to try to make it better for them. But if it's personal, if you're in person, be mindful of your body language and the words you use with customers, both in-store and online. And this goes back to your staff as well. I think probably the best example we can all relate to is Chick-fil-A. The staff at Chick-fil-A are always very courteous, and they're always very upbeat and positive, and they're going to do their best to make sure that you're taken care of, And that's, everybody in the community can talk about that. We all know we've been to Chick-fil-A, and it's like, wow, they were really nice. They did a great job. Or if something goes wrong, if that happens at Chick-fil-A, I don't know, you're able to know that they're going to take care of you. And I'm going to leave you with this before we start taking questions. It's a quote from Ben Wolf, and he's with the American Chamber of Commerce Executives. And this doesn't just apply to chambers, this applies to businesses as well. But communicating value is not just about delivering a message. It's about identifying what one perceives as valuable. And this goes both ways. So you could be trying to send a message out to your customers and making sure that it's valuable for them, but you also need to listen to your customers and find out who that target audience is. Like, what are they looking for in your industry type? What is it that they need, or that you recognize they may have a need for? How can you kind of cater what you offer product-wise from your business to them? But yeah, so thank you guys for listening here this morning. I hope I've been helpful and you feel a little bit more confident going out there and marketing during COVID-19. If you want to ask me some questions now, I'm going to open up, let's see, make sure everybody's unmuted. And I'm going to unpin me so we can see everybody. There we go. So yeah, does anybody have any questions? Hey, Angie.
I think it was an awesome presentation, all good stuff. What do you think about everything going on right now? Should brands be silent? Should they weigh in? Should they?
I know, and that's what I've thought about too here at the chamber. I think it does go back to that brand. Is this how strongly do you as an owner and for your business feel about what's going on? I should think. Do you feel like you need to make a statement and just say, hey, whether you participated in Blackout Tuesday or if you just want to share some resources? I personally feel like it's important to make some kind of statement. You don't have to say one side or the other. I don't think that's wise, but definitely acknowledging what's going on, I think, is important. And people are looking, people are noticing, and they'll see that. So again, it's just whatever you feel like is true to your brand, I think, is the best way to handle that.
Yeah.
My
brother plays guitar, and he buys a bunch of pedals and stuff. And somebody he follows on social media, this company out in California, I guess the owner had made a statement on social media, and then whoever runs his social media got on there and said, look, I'm actually the guy running this thing, and I feel like this. And so
right.
It's hilarious to see a total different split. Like, oh,
and yeah, I've seen a lot of brands do that here. I mean, like on social media, I'll see they'll post something, and then later on, it's a complete flip. Yeah. So it's definitely important that everybody's on the same page too.
Yep.
But yeah. Like I said, this is going to be available afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and edit it down. Hopefully by the end of this week, I'll have it up on our website. I think we're going to try to do a resources tab, or maybe at least just our YouTube page. See if I can come up with some more resources for everybody. But if you think of something later on that you didn't think of now, just for sure email me, ashleej@calhounchamber.com. Well, all right. Thanks everybody for joining me. I hope I kept it short and sweet. It's always my goal.
Perfect.
Good deal. All right. Well, y'all take care.
Okay.